Hello, Ron.
Hey, what's up? How are you?
I'm good. I have Maria with me.
Hi,
Oh,
Ron.
hello. You guys must be tired from going to Sisters of Mercy so many times.
You saw us? Were you there?
Oh, no. I just read online that, because I've got a lot of friends who are going to Sisters of Mercy and Love and Rockets, and I just see everybody was posting how cool it was and everything, and start seeing all the people at church, and it was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff was going on the other night, man. That was an interesting. I was happily staying home. I
Well,
missed all the cool concerts. I don't go out that much anymore.
as we're getting older, Ron, we have seen a lot. We have seen a lot.
Yeah, but we want to go
absolutely.
to as many concerts as possible, so why not?
Absolutely, and there's a lot of bands that are coming back around that you never had a chance to see, and you kind of know and feel this might be the last time you ever see them.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Like we went to see Iggy Pop at the Salt Shed, just because I had to. I mean, I really feel that this is probably going to be the last time he's around, and it's sad, but I had to see him.
this is exactly what I want to say, that it's sad. At the same time, you get the bittersweet taste that this is the last time I will say seeing this band or this artist. So I don't know. I'm in between. I'm not sure how I can deal with that, to be honest.
Exactly. It's I mean, it's music that's been around us since whenever, it doesn't matter what age. When you get into music as a youngster, just them bands, as your life changes, the music is so important.
Mm-hmm.
And as you get older, hey, the musicians that are playing music are getting older as well, and they're a lot older than probably you were when you started listening to them. So it gets to that point where it's like, man, it's and it hits you in such a point in your life that it just sticks with you. Where you can't say that modern music isn't as good. That's where a lot of people fall in that trap and say there's nothing good out there anymore. It's just this music resonated to your heart and soul, and these are the people that are important to you.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to see them. It's the music that you just can you can close your eyes and smile, and it hits a lot more places inside you than just regular music. It's special.
You're right, but I will ask a rhetorical question. How do you how do you deal when you see such a band or a musician, and it really, really does not feel good? There is so many things are missing.
I do appreciate all music, and it gets to the point now where if it's not like when I'm watching a band, if I go see a band, if it's not up to where I feel it should be, or just my knowledge of how the inner workings are, I'll just go socialize and go have a beer and not really pay attention,
Yeah.
But still, then you're just kind of feeling the music,
Yes.
Where it's like I hardly ever leave. I mean, if it's I have before, but
No, I was not talking. I have never left a concert, but at the same time, you get some sort of I don't know. You feel sad. How can I? There is no better word to use here.
yeah. I mean, it is. Music is changing, and it's nothing we can do about it, and it's going in a different direction, and it'll never be, anything will never be the way it was.
Oh no.
So it's our reactions to how music is now. It's good to lower your expectations and just go with an open mind. Like, hey, I'm just going to enjoy it for what it is. And that's what I think is a good way to approach all bands and music nowadays, because the generations are different, how they approach music and how they write music. I don't want to say it's gotten lazier, but music has changed. It's not as complicated, and people don't want complicated music anymore. It seems that way, so they want it a little more, I don't know, they don't want to think about it much.
Or
and then
they,
the people who are...
or they don't have the connection we used to have with music back in the day.
I don't want to say, as a musician, they suck. I don't want to say no.
Oh no! Don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm not going to say that. No, I'm just saying the writing ain't anywhere near what the caliber of when I was influenced by music and how we approach it. It's just kind of, I don't know. Everybody hears music different. It's just different. It's more. God, I don't really know how to explain it. I don't want to say it's bad, but it's still bigger than ever, and there's a whole generation of kids who like that stuff, and I mean, my parents they hated what I was listening to. They're like, that'll never last, it's just generations, it's crazy how we look at things.
It's generations, and I think at some point we start talking like old men, right? Everything was better in the past.
It's inevitable.
So
it
may be also our fault, quote unquote. Our ears have been stuck to the past, and that's okay too. That's okay too. I mean, as long as we don't become bitter, that's okay.
Right. I mean, I have more of an open mind now than I ever have with music,
yes.
And I listen to so many different kinds, and I'll go see a performance by a band that I would never have gone to 20 years ago.
Oh, yes.
It's definitely, it's like, hey, this is cool. This is different. Yeah. I mean, my wife said, come on, let's go see the Viagra Boys. I'm like, Viagra Boys? Okay. This ought to be interesting. It was at the Salt Shed. It was like one of their first shows, and we wanted to check the place out, and they were really good. It was entertaining and fun, and I'm like looking kind of at the stage. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't want to say that. I'm like going to my wife, like, the guitar player's wearing a Trouble shirt. She's like, get out of here, shut up. I'm like, he is. As we looked, and he was wearing a Trouble shirt. It was bizarre. I was like, this is interesting. So I'm like, I gotta meet this guy. Who the hell is this? Went to the soundboard and said, hey, your guitar player dude was wearing my band shirt. I gotta know who he is. And he's wearing it in Chicago because Trouble's from Chicago. He has to be,
So
then he come walking up, and it ended up, there was a dude I knew that he actually played guitar in Ghost.
Oh,
a couple other bands. So it's like, I've met him over the years. I'm like, dude, what's up? It's like, I figured you'd be the one at the show, and he said, that's why I wore the shirt. I'm like, it was just so bizarre, man, that music crosses over and can. So I said, you open your mind, and like I said, if I would have had a closed mind and never would have went to that, I never would have saw my old friend.
And
it was cool.
We have to acknowledge now the younger generation, because I believe the younger generation has a more open mind than we had in their age. That's at least my experience. I think they are open to hear. You can see different faces in even the metal shows.
Yes, you are correct. Yes, I think so. It's like people are starting to tear the walls down,
Yes.
And trying to just have it all open, and that's beautiful. It really is a good thing you see a lot more younger people at these shows.
Yep.
They just want to check it out, and it's very cool.
And it was great to see.
The future of rock and roll is in good hands, I think.
Well, I hope, because as we change styles,
I have faith in them.
yes, we have to have. Although we did a terrible job creating a word for them. Such a terrible job. But anyways. However, it was great seeing you guys that night at Reggie's. And I don't know, you looked and sounded so tight. I don't know how you did that, to be honest.
It was hard work. It was difficult. It very was. I mean, I was nervous as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been that nervous before playing a show in a long time. And coming to Reggie's, I mean, the Skull played there. I played there sometimes with so many bands, and I was like, just felt off and nervous. And I'm like, what is it? And it's like, realizing I'm actually playing with a new band there. It's the first time that I really wasn't playing in the Skull or a tribute to Eric or anything like that. It's like, it's our first show as a new band. And Lothar was feeling the same thing. And he's like, we went outside and talked about it. We're like, wow, this is pretty cool. No, we're surrounded with some very talented musicians.
Oh, yes.
And everybody in the band, the realization that we're kind of celebrating and we're thinking about our bandmates who we lost, who've died. The Eric thing brought us all together. And then as we were playing together, that's when we realized we all were kind of in the same kind of thing. Where Scott Riegers, lost Armando a while ago, and just, Mark Argadums just recently, and Carl losing Reed Mullen from CLC, who was a good friend of mine as well. We actually played in the band together. It was years, I don't remember what year it was, but we called it Blind. It was Reed, myself, Carl, and Scott, who plays guitar with us now. And we're playing the whole CLC Blind record. This was years ago. I always loved that record. And now we're still playing it, so it's really cool. We all got back together. So that helps with that. It's all like that kind of, them songs are tight because we did it before. And then, me, losing Eric recently, and now I'm just focusing on playing songs that, I played with Trouble, and thinking about Barry Stern, who I lost and spent a bunch of good years with that guy, great drummer. And I think since we're all in that same frame of mind,
yes,
and your mortality starts coming into it, it's like, hey, this might be the last time I get a chance to play these songs. I think we are a little more relaxed and just say, let's just go out and get our yayas out and rock and roll like we know how to do it. And we haven't practiced much. That's God honest truth. And I'm really, really surprised that we played that well. It shows that, just the heritage of us all together, that it just all in the same boat, the same goal, and the same way. My line, these are all guys who were like the smartest and the leaders of their bands. And, it's a bunch of adults finally together in a band playing music. No, seriously.
No.
It helps.
I'm laughing because some minutes ago you said that this is a new band. And now we are talking about all the legacy everyone has in this lineup. And it's a kind of an oxymoron, but it does make sense, right?
I've been trying to grasp it for a while. Since the last time I talked to you guys, things changed, Mm-hmm. I really thought my career was going to be over, and then kind of like, okay, maybe we still, we'll continue a little bit. We'll do these shows for Eric and just see what happens. And it just happened that the guys that got involved with this, and as we sat and thought about it, we're all the same mind frame. Is like, hey, let's just rock together and play our songs. And there's the people nowadays might not ever get a chance. Like, there's VITUS doesn't play anymore, and I don't think they ever will again. And you get a chance to hear Scott Rieger sing these old VITUS songs.
Yes, and
with Henry played the drums on them the last few tours, and CLC Blind, hearing them songs. CLC, they played one song off that record, and that's it. They won't play any of the other ones. And it's like, there's people who want to hear Carl sing these songs,
And this goes back again to the younger generations. There are people who have never heard of these songs. So
and they just want to hear music. They don't care about the politics or who hates who or whatever. And it's like, and they know that these guys are passing away, and there's probably no band with all the other members anymore. I mean, Look at Pantera now. I mean, they're rocking. People want to hear Pantera. They love them, and I'm so happy that Phil is out there playing again, and Rex.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were going to lose Rex, and it's just so good that he's going out on a high note. People just want to hear the music, and if you get an original guy who played on one of the records, it's a bonus, and it makes people happy, and it's just they just want to hear the music that they love, and I realize that, and I want to play the music that I'm part of, and it's good. It's a win-win situation, and we're really excited, and you could tell we were having damn fun that night.
And one more really cool thing, seeing you guys playing side by side together, all the legends, is that there is no egos, no BS. It's this family vibe you have with each other.
It definitely is. I mean, there's egos. There always gonna be. But I'm so used to kind of being not the figure mom, but I've always taken care of bands, and all the people and road managed and all this stuff where and I'm friends with all these guys. So it's different. And it is a very family vibe. Everybody's just hanging out. We'll just go have lunch and it doesn't feel like we're in a band. We're just a bunch of friends who've known and loved each other for years, just hanging out.
There you go.
That's how it feels.
And it shows. What about the set list? This time around, you had three Saint Vitus songs, 3 COC, and then 2 from each from the Skull and Trouble. First of all, will you be using the same set list as you guys head out to Europe?
Yes, and we're going to expand on it. Because we got a couple headline shows, so we're going to play a couple more songs. But the 2 festivals we're playing, we only have 45 minutes, so I have to figure out that set that we did at Reggie's. I got to shorten it, and I don't know how I'm going to do that. I have no idea how I'm going to shorten that set. It was perfect, It's like
play them back to back, man. No stopping. Back to back.
I would love to, but we have to. I think it's 45 minutes. We have to shorten it to, and I think we had just about an hour at Reggie. So it's going to be some tough choices. But these songs, we're gonna mess around with. Leadfoot did a cover of Thin Lizzy. I'm gonna creep up on you. It's a really cool tune. It's like Leadfoot. If you search on Spotify, it comes up the number one. But since Scott and Carl played Leadfoot, and we've talked about other Vitus songs. There's more COC songs. There's other Trouble songs. Skull songs will be playing because it's the 5 guys from the Skull anyway. So it's gonna be rotating, but it's gonna favor more of the Vitus and the COC, and just a little bit of Trouble. But we're in the process of trying to finish writing a record, and we'd like to record that this summer to fall.
Wait a minute. A record with Legions of Doom?
Yep.
Great. I was you were leading me to that question.
Well, it's technically a Skull record. It's technically the 3rd Skull record. And technically Legion of Doom record at the same time.
So, do you have in this upcoming album stuff that you wrote with Eric or when Eric was around?
Yeah, we have, I think 5 or 6 songs we wrote with Eric. So we got Eric's lyrics, going to be on the 6 songs that we're going to, between Scott singing and Carl singing it. And we got a couple that we wrote towards the end that Eric didn't get a chance to put lyrics to it. And we're probably going to write another one. And plus we got a song that Eric sent me. Every record, he always wanted to do like an acoustic song. He'd send it to me. Or he'd play it for me and just say, let's write an acoustic song on this record. And we're like, no, we're, doing metal band. And this last time he did it differently. He recorded himself playing guitar and singing.
Whoa.
And he sent it to me. So I got the recording, and it's strange because he had lyrics he sent to it with it, and they were different. When I finally listened, I just didn't listen to it because it was, it's been hard for me to, since he's gone, but I just started listening to these songs recently because his son sent me all the lyrics from all of our songs that he wrote, because that's something that we talked about. I said, I'd really like to get these lyrics so we can finish these songs. He's like, yeah, absolutely. He got Eric's, he got his dad's computer, and he says, once I get into it and figure it out, I'll copy all the lyrics and send it to you. And Eric had it in the folder, Skull folder. Skull new record. He had it all ready for me. It's amazing. Eric was, man, he foresaw this. It's crazy. But he had a song in there.
And you said
it's a title that I've never seen before. Every song that he ever wrote, he would always tell me the title. Even of his other bands, his solo bands, he'd always run it by me like, here, dig this. Is this a great title for a song? And so this song, this title, I've never heard before. And I'm like reading the lyrics. I'm like, oh man, this sounds familiar. Then I did some research and found that song, and those were the lyrics to that song that he sent me probably a year and a half ago. I never knew this title because he never gave it to me. It's as if he knew I was going to be using this song. It's very Eric-like. I'm like, I think he anticipated this. But the song, beautiful song, with him singing and playing guitar, we're going to record our parts around it.
So you will be using that version with his vocals?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So Eric will be on this record. That's why it's like the last Skull record, like the third Skull record. It's going to be like a split 7-inch, but a split full record, kind of, I guess.
So do you have a record deal for that? What's the plan? Or when do you want to see that getting out?
TP Records, we're still with them.
Okay.
As soon as we're going to be talking about a lot of this when we're on tour in Europe here. As soon as we get back, we're going to figure out the rehearsal schedule that we get together and just work on a new record. Because we don't have another show till November. We're playing in Atlanta.
Yes.
So we got the summer to, I think we can do it in 2 weekend sessions. I think get the record together. That it's just up to the guys with the vocals, getting melodies together. So we got some melodies from Eric, but only like not much. So it's going to be up to Scott and Carl. So then hopefully record it. Like, if we record it in September, I'd be happy as hell.
So after France and until November 5th, no shows?
No shows, no. We may play something in Carolina right before the November, like around Halloween, but no, we're not doing any more shows till we work on a record.
Okay.
So it's going to be next year, but they're continuing. They want to keep people want to hear the Skull. So a version of the Skull with Carl singing is going to continue, which is really cool. Which I didn't think it would. That's kind of why we put the Legions of Doom together. But this way, it's two different bands. One will be 80-90% Skull songs, and the other one is VITUS and COC and Trouble, and so it's two bands in one. I think it's going to be quite interesting.
I agree. And I don't want to sound this like a mean question to you, but you are not feeling ready to retire, right? You still want to play live and write music.
I've always felt like retiring for the last 20 years.
That's good.
And every tour we've done, I've said this is my last tour. I just don't like the business part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets me. Even today, I was in the Social Security office for 3 hours today. I had to get these forms for tax forms for playing in France. I'm like, I could be doing other things, So eventually, if we could afford a manager, I think that'll help. But no, I can't picture me retiring anytime soon.
That's good.
If this record, finished the record, we're going to be playing everywhere next year. So I have a few more years in me.
We're so glad to hear that, Ron.
Maybe in another record. Who knows? Like I said, it's one of the things that's try to live day by day and just enjoy life. And it's like a new thing with my buddies. And just, it's cool. I mean, it really, playing the other night was just really less stressful than it normally was in the other bands. It's just kind of like, I don't know, when you have a gang where you just have, people got your back, you just got a powerhouse around you.
Then you feel, safer.
A force to reckon with, and you're just really comfortable in your shoes surrounded by these guys,
And you know what? In every show, after you finish the set, you give to your bass a kiss. This time around, it was a kiss and a hug.
I did?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
And it looked so. I said, why is doing that? So now that I hear you talking about that, you felt some kind of pressure, and that relief was washing over your shoulders, and this is why you gave your bass guitar a hug.
Because usually at the end of the show, my mind is, I didn't even realize that. Wow, I guess I do. Wow, cool. That's my baby. That's it. She's been around with me. I got her Halloween 1980 when I got that bass.
Okay, so, and one more thing. Let's put a pin on this. Let's talk in 20 years after this, and let's talk. I will ask you again about retirement, okay?
That sounds good. Good. Maybe 10 years.
No. You cannot.
20 years.
You cannot back out now, man. That's done and done.
20 years sounds good. I hope so, man.
Thank you very much.
Younger generation rocking again, but yeah, that's you guys. It's always fun to talk with you guys and seeing you guys at the shows, and thank you for the support. We love you guys, man.
You don't need to thank us, Ron. It's our pleasure. And, as we said, if we keep seeing you guys on stage, we kind of feed from that and feel younger. So it's a two-way street, let's say.
And please know that the feeling is mutual. So
So the set list was cool then, right?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Cool. I was playing with that one for months trying to figure out the perfect set list. Oh, it's difficult.
But again, like I said in the beginning, you looked so tight, as if you were rehearsing your arses out for 2 weeks.
That a lot of people are going to get some laughs about that one, especially my wife. She's like, "Guys, you need to practice more." We're like, yeah. Our guitar player didn't get in town until Friday night. We rehearsed as a band Saturday afternoon for the first time as a whole band. For this time, we got together a few weeks ago in Texas.
Okay.
Everybody, so we had a weekend out there, but before the show in Chicago, we just got together for a couple hours on Saturday afternoon, and it worked out well.
The same lineup will go to Europe, correct?
Yeah, we're gonna have this lineup for a while.
Okay.
I hope, God willing, knock on wood.
Absolutely,
I hope so.
Have a safe travels. Ron. Say hi to the rest of the band, and we are already waiting for the new album.
Oh, I can't wait. I get to listen to most of the songs the other day with Carl, and he was pretty surprised. He said, "Wow, I didn't know you guys had all this." I'm like, "Yep." So
keep it coming.
It's gonna be good. Thank you guys so much, and I will definitely be seeing and talking to you guys soon.
Absolutely. Have a great evening, man.
Cheers.